Welcome to Disturbing Comics, where we talk about all the craziest comics. Brutal is back. This is the third video on Brutal, which is about a homicide investigator named Hiroki Dan, who hides a sadistic vigilante role in which he murders society's worst people. Basically, Dexter in Japan. Now, we don't have to agree with Hiroki on a moral or legal standpoint, just enjoy bad people getting their comeuppance. Also, Hiroki, there is some serial killer in South Korea right now. Literally, nobody is investigating him. Maybe you should do a little outreach, huh? In this episode of Brutal, a heartless journalist invades the privacy of others for the headlines, even if it means those headlines will cause their demise. This is just a 2-chapter story. Let's see the next brutal torture. If you want to see what happens, including all the messed up parts, stay tuned for the comic or manga. Cue the Gohan. Chapter 5 starts with the aftermath of a mass stabbing. Several people died, including the mother of a young boy. A journalist hounds the boy, asking very disgusting questions, even when his mother's corpse is right over there. The journalist is named Onizuka, and as I said, there was a mass stabbing and the killer was arrested, and he was 20 years old. He of course has a family, which Onizuka locates and screams at them to accept the interview. Now, this is the mother of the killer, and according to the neighborhood, the mother abused her son. The killer has a sister who protects her broken mother from the journalist. Onizuka asks a question: why shouldn't the parents, the root of the problem, be punished as well? Some of y'all had some light bulbs in your head went off when I said that. Parents can be trash, but no matter how trash they are, they still didn't commit the mass murder. The mother of the killer has already made up her mind to jump to her death. Her last words were, "Forgive me." I don't know if she really was abusive or not. Her daughter never seemed to agree or disagree with that claim. But now, she's all alone, hounded by the reporters and the journalists. She also attempts to off herself. I don't know if she was successful or not. The poison who raised the mass murderer is what the headlines are. Have you guys ever heard of the Japanese serial killer named Tsutomu Miyazaki? Hopefully he's not related to Hidetaka Miyazaki. His parent also offed himself. So that is the end of the mass murder story. Now we move on to bullying and the aftermath. Juliet Private High School is an all-girls school. Reminds me of Citrus. See her? This is Arisu Onizuka, same last name as the journalist. This is the journalist's daughter. Typical popular girl who doesn't care about anyone, blah blah blah. And this is Suzuki Sensei. Sensei is bullied by a group of students, including Onizuka. Sir, I know good and well you're not about to just let the whole class throw things at you. He also lets Onizuka and her little clique pour water on him in the bathroom, mob him and ridicule him. Finally, he gets up, realizing he doesn't have to take any of this. But unfortunately, he makes the bad decision of pushing Onizuka. Putting your hands on the student is not well received anywhere, but it's especially not well received in Japan of all places. The journalist visits the school to talk about the corporal punishment. The journalist doesn't accept the apology and thinks that Suzuki Sensei should be fired from the school. But honestly, he didn't have to push her. He could have just walked out. He's an adult. They weren't holding him hostage. I do like that this superior doesn't want to fire Suzuki Sensei right out the gate. Eventually, the journalist goes on television to talk about the corporal punishment, and parents and the media are outraged. And this outrage is what has Suzuki Sensei put on leave. Her dad put a lot of pressure on the school, and she even says it would be fun to see Sensei off himself. We see that it's not really fun. There go my boy Hiroki right there, investigating another sad sight. Suzuki Sensei strangled his wife and attempted to smother his 1-year-old daughter and stabbed himself. Suzuki, you could have just offed yourself, dude. And you would have regretted offing yourself if you knew that a recording of your bullying came out and it's gone viral, which the police have a copy of. Students all over the school have now turned against daughter Onizuka for bullying the teacher, and they call her a murderer. Suzuki, there was so many better options, dude. Daughter Onizuka is skipping school after being bullied by her classmates now, and her father, the journalist, talks to her. She says that she didn't know he would off himself. She didn't mean it seriously. Her father doesn't care about her struggles at the moment. When did you start bullying? is what he asked her. That look in his eye. Literally all he cares about is a headline, even if it means upsetting his daughter more. If Suzuki-sensei didn't off his daughter and his wife, I'd feel more bad for him. But taking people with you is just some shit I don't like. But the journalist literally only cares about the money and the titles, calling his daughter a laudable murderer. Usually there's a degree of hypocrisy when it comes to family, but not with him. She reminded him of his ex-wife, so that's why he doesn't care. And he says that she offs herself too. One night he's driving home, getting into a road rage incident with an old man. He even speaks to himself saying he could crash and kill the old man and just say that the brakes went out. But then someone in the back of his car says, attempted murder? It's Hiroki, the Justice Hero. I'd be terrified if some random person just popped up in my car. Just like that. Tasered right for Hiroki's den of hell. All right, ladies, gentlemen, and scrambled eggs. It's time to see some torture. How do you feel right now? The first words Onizuka hears when he wakes up. His favorite sentence to ask people. He's pouring holy water on his head. Holy water with acid. Look at him purifying all that evil. Hydrochloric acid mixed with holy water. That's what Walter White used. I'm kidding, he actually used hydrofluoric acid. See, y'all are already trying to correct me. For a greedy man who can't be judged by the law, this is an exclusive coverage. How do you feel right now? He forces Onizuka to swallow all of the acid. The power of Christ compels him to burn from the inside, to die the worst death possible. Onizuka is dead after swallowing acid, which basically Control-Alt-Deleted his life. It's a painful way to go out. Your voice can't be heard anymore. The chapter is ending with the view of the principal of that school talking about all they've been hiding regarding school bullying. Onizuka isn't there to interview. Oh, and remember the baby of Suzuki-sensei, the one he tried to smother? She survived, then is gonna be raised by his grandparents. Go ahead, Hiroki, you went from husband to Green Goblin. Hiroki and Ryo-sama talk about the aftermath of everything. And he even has a little gift to cheer her up. Is this a meteorite rock, she says? Actually, it's a chopstick holder, but thanks for saying it's out of this world. The journalist arc ends with Hiroki Dan eating a nice bowl of spooky rice. Oh yeah, the ashes of every guy he killed is used for the pottery he makes. Guess they aren't gone forever. So this was interesting to read. It dealt with some heavy topics, but didn't dive too deep into being shocking. I do think the teacher could have handled things better. That was sad, but annoying. I mean, your wife is a grown woman, dude. You didn't have to kill her. And even if the mother of that mass murderer was abusive, she didn't force him to go out and stab people at the mall. Hell, you think he would stab her first? Yeah, it's a big problem when young men feel like they need to go out and kill people. But that's beyond this video. I've never seen someone who would let his own daughter off themselves for a story. No ounce of hypocrisy too. The journalist was a weak villain compared to the previous butcher and the leader of the Ace Club. But it was an interesting death. Have you seen the other videos on Brutal? Those were a lot more dark, but I think you would enjoy them. We will be back to Brutal, killing, stalking, and more. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you did, click the like button and subscribe to see more messed up stuff. Here are some vids you should watch if you like this one. And yeah, just don't watch Metamorphosis unless you want to be depressed for a year. Anyway, thanks for watching. Spooky out.